Zulu is a kind giraffe from Africa. It gets so hot in Africa, and sometimes there is not much to do in the hot savanna. So Zulu was bored one day. Zulu discovered that if she clanked her hooves together, she could make funny sounds. She remembered hearing years ago about a language based on clanking sounds called Morse code. That's when she decided to call Galois Einstein to learn more. Galois Einstein was in his lab inventing a system for flying drones to communicate with each other when Zulu called. When he heard that Zulu needed help, he was happy to set his project aside to help her learn more about Morse code. Before there were telephones or computers, people communicated using Morse code. Morse code is a code that uses dashes and dots to spell words, and these words are put together to create a message. In the early 1800s, Morse code was the fastest form of communication. Samuel Morse was a professor at New York University in the early 1800s, and in 1836 he invented Morse code. His invention proved that signals could be transmitted or sent from place to place using wires. Messages could be sent instantly around the country using Morse code. People would write a message they wanted sent on a telegraph card, and then send that card to the telegraph office. At the telegraph office, the message was translated into Morse code signals. These signals were then sent to their destinations using wires. Morse code helped people to stay in touch and to communicate urgent messages too. Morse code letters and numbers are made of dashes and dots. When you listen to them, the dashes are long sound tones and the dots are very short. In the early 1800s, telegrams using Morse code were the fastest form of communication. The telegram office had Morse code operators who could translate the dashes and beeps back into letters and numbers. They could translate 40 to 50 words per minute. Instead of using periods, commas, and spaces, in Morse code a small pause in the dashes and dots indicates a break. The Morse code operator could tell if the pause was a period, a space, or the beginning of a new letter. Messages were sent across far distances using Morse code, and it even let ships at sea send messages back to land. This helped save many people from shipwrecks and other disasters, because people could send a message immediately when there was a problem, and a rescue team could be sent right away. SOS, the most common call for help, doesn't actually stand for anything. It's used because it's easy for operators to recognize quickly. Samuel Morse patented the first electric telegraph, a machine that sends electric signals along a path of electricity. This electric telegraph was the first machine to ever send messages using electricity, and the first type of communication that used wires on poles across the country. Samuel Morse, like other famous inventors, was also interested in art, and he was a famous painter. Leonardo da Vinci also loved to create both inventions and art. In the end, Zulu learned a lot about Morse code, but then she found herself surrounded by woodpeckers. The clanking sounds she had been making with her hooves apparently created an attractive story for the nearby woodpeckers, and they all wanted her autograph. Zulu now needs to learn how to handle the woodpecker paparazzi. But that sounds like another call to Galois Einstein. Look for the experiment on our website, www.brainopolis.org. And remember, the more you play, the more you learn.